Hello, I'm Raglin. This is Not Your Family, Not Your Friend book reviews. Book reviews without a conflict of interest. On this channel, I not only review books by new self-published authors, I also offer up some advice on how to improve their writing. One of the best ways is to read books about how to write. It's also one of the least expensive, since most of these books can be borrowed from your public library. The two books I'm going to review today come at writing from totally different perspectives. One insists you need only write naturally. The other suggests that you must conjure up muses and tap your inner psyche, and even offers exercises to do so. Finding Your Voice, How to Put Personality in Your Writing by Les Edgerton. Which comes first, voice or craft? In Finding Your Voice, How to Put Personality in Your Writing, author Les Edgerton begins by blaming all the English teachers you had through elementary and secondary school for destroying your original voice. Edgerton believes if you were allowed to just write naturally, not like how you were told to write, and not like how you think a writer should write, you'd have your original voice. Now, I thought learning how to write came first and voice came after that. And since it was all those English teachers who taught me how to write, including punctuation and grammar, I don't think they're really to blame if you can't find your writing voice. It appears the only people who are anxious about finding the writing voice are those who don't write well. I'd advance the concept that once you learn how to write, and I mean actually put in those 10,000 hours, to become reasonably adept at the craft, the voice comes naturally. And you know what? I think Edgerton believes that as well, because once you get past the idea that this book is how to magically find your writing voice, I realized it was about how to write, and a solid book about how to write. And it's written in an easy, kind of folksy, non-academic voice. Edgerton has used the angst novice writers have about finding their voice as a hook to differentiate his how-to book from all the rest, and it worked, at least on me. I'd give Finding Your Voice 3 stars. Solid information delivered in a down-to-earth manner. The next book is A Writer's Space, Make Room to Dream, to Work, to Write by Eric Maisel. Are writers born or made? Can anyone become a writer, specifically a writer of fiction? Or is it a proclivity to writing, an innate characteristic? This is a question I often ask myself, particularly when participants in my creative writing circles ask for writing prompts or inquire how to find story ideas. I mean, as if life and all the people you interact with is not enough material. It's then that I think that these people are not writers, but instead fantasize about the cliched version of a writer's life. Now, if you're one of those people who fantasize about writing but are too conflicted to do any, then A Writer's Space, Make Room to Dream, to Work, to Write by Eric Maisel is the book for you. Maisel is a creativity coach who holds a PhD in counseling psychology. He believes that writers aren't born. They're cajoled, coaxed, and coached into being. The first step to becoming a writer is to pick, protect, and honor a physical space specifically for writing. Maisel would have you go on a vision quest to locate the best place in your home to write. And once you've divined the location, you must then prepare a security pledge on how you will protect and do only the right things in your writing space. Evidently, the author doesn't consider life and the people enough of a stimuli for writers, and offers all kinds of incentives to inspire one to write. These include a way to access your self-help neurons, to enter into a space of creative mindfulness. The next time you decide to be angry, Maisel tells a reader, use creative mindfulness to decide not to be angry. Or I suppose just say no to anger. It's that simple. as well as the appropriate spiritual location to enable you to write, Maisel suggests there are various psychological and emotional spaces to psych you up and chill you out, or otherwise evoke or enhance your inner muse. They include an emotional space, reflective space, imagined space, public space, and existential space. At the end of each chapter, the author offers up lessons to help you enter these spaces, which will allow you to desire worlds into existence, discover the way of the meaning maker, and not be quite so nice. There's also an exercise to upgrade your personality with 12 quick centering incantations. I was interested in that. This might be useful to many writers I know, including myself, since we tend to be reflective, more observers than participants, and comfortable with our own company, or depending on your point of view, we're arrogant, antisocial loners. A good portion of a writer's space is given over to anecdotes about the writer's clients' patients, an incredibly flaky sounding bunch who imagine themselves as writers but don't have the guts and the determination to sit down and actually write something. Success comes for the doctor when one of these charges, patients, clients, gets not when they get published, but when, after all the positive nurturing and self-help mumbo-jumbo, they finally, actually make marks on paper. If you haven't drawn any conclusions on this book from what I've told you so far, I'll close this review with a sampling of Maisel's profundity. He says, "You have been hungering for years to write a certain piece while simultaneously curbing your enthusiasm, and by curbing it, killing it." Huh? If you can relate to that statement, I'm sorry for you. It's like you'll never be a writer. 1 star for this book. I think reading it could actually harm new writers. These reviews are posted on Amazon, Goodreads, and a number of other sites. Thanks for watching. Keep writing, and remember what Nietzsche said, art is a proper task in life.